Good morning. I am out walking. I'm getting closer to the end of my walk. My feet are doing much better. Prayer is amazing. I woke up and, sorry, car passing. Sorry, you're going to get a great angle of up my nose as I walk because I'm walking on the street today and I want to keep my wits about me. But prayer totally works. My feet are feeling much better. I also double socked it today, so that's good. So God definitely blessed my feet. So I've been preparing. I teach our adult Bible study on Thursdays. I alternate with another gentleman from our church on teaching, and it's my week. I'm actually teaching this whole month, but learning about Jeremiah and his life, and it's actually really depressing. So Jeremiah was about, a century after Isaiah. Israel was just wicked and not listening, and he was called at a young age. He didn't feel qualified, and God also told him, you're not going to have success. They're not going to listen to you. And knowing you've been called to something that is going to be a failure is kind of disheartening. But Jeremiah definitely voiced some of those frustrations. Like, those are captured, and I think that those, it's relevant to do that. And it but to know that your mission, what you're called to do, is ultimately going to be a failure in your lifetime. But there's someone that did listen to him, and someone that did leave Jerusalem because they knew that the whole of the group was not listening to the warnings of the prophet. And his name was Lehi. And so Lehi and his family left Jerusalem around 600 BC. And they left and ended up in the Americas, and that's how we get the Book of Mormon. That's the record. And so even though Jeremiah was told that his teachings would not be received, from the people in general, there was still a big success because of his efforts. We have the Book of Mormon. We have I have my faith and my beliefs and my understanding of God and Jesus Christ, and I'm so grateful for that. And so even though Jeremiah did not get to see the fruits of his labor in his life, his family abandoned him, everybody hated him. Sometimes we have those things that God asks us to do that we don't see the fruits of in our lifetime. And I see that in my life. Thankfully, I haven't been met with such hatred and hardships as Jeremiah. But as a teacher of teenagers, as a mother, as a teacher of adults, as somebody that teaches in lots of different arenas, a lot of times I don't see the fruits of those. I started this vlog because God told me to. And I said, if it helps one person, and that one person is me, it's worth it. But I've gotten several messages from other people of how just listening to me ramble about my experience in my life has helped them. And that is such a blessing, because you never know what God has in store for you. It's rare that God just has one purpose. And so I'm excited to see what his purposes with me are, with what he asked me to do. And not just in this vlog, but just in my life in general. I've had past students and my teenagers come and tell me, like, because of what you shared or said in class, that made all the difference for me. And I know that I would, think that there might be others that had similar experiences that didn't share with me. But and I don't say that to be prideful at all. It's just to demonstrate that you never know what your influence, what your example, what your struggles, what your triumphs, what your efforts might yield and might help other people. Because God loves each and every one of us. And He wants each and every one of us to return to Him, to be happy, to have joy, and to grow and learn and progress. And sometimes that growing and progressing is painful. Many times, almost always it is. And so He uses us as His hands and His feet and His mouth, in little ways, to help those around us that we're blessed to influence. And we all each have unique and individual circles of influence and people in our path that have been divinely orchestrated. And just as long as we put forth that effort, the Lord can do the rest. So anyway, there are your thoughts from Nicole's walk this morning. And I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day.